Hello everybody, I'm Ernest. So today is, well, tomorrow actually is Mother's Day, and me and William came down here to Courtyard, Texas, and to visit my mom and my dad. They're buried here. Back here is my other family, the Jansons. For those who don't know, I'm part German and Hispanics, and that's why we have Jansons and Alvarez's. But anyway, tomorrow will be Mother's Day, and since me and William on a ride, we thought we'd stop by here and give my respects to Mom. So this is my grandfather that started the Jansen part of the family here in America. He came from Germany. He was born in 1883. This is his son, my Uncle Rudy. My nephew's buried here. He died when he was 8. My brother is buried right there. That was about 2 years ago. Over there is Uncle Henry, George, my cousins, aunts, and Mom and Dad are in the other block over there. So, you know, very solemn day. But we're gonna go for a ride, and William's never been to Goliad, so we're going to Goliad to see the mission de la Bahia or something like that. It's the one where Colonel Fanning's men were massacred, and that's part of the Texas history by the Mexican army. So get on down the road, and we'll see how this day goes. Well, we made it to Persidio, La Bahia, here in Goliad, Texas. This was where one of the battles were fought. And I thought I'd first stop here and show you this sign. This is the Angel of Goliad. Basically, this person over here was called the Angel of Goliad. And what she did is when Colonel Fanning's family was caught, and they were held as prisoners at the Persidio, which is right behind me. Francisca here, Alvarez, just happens to be the same name as myself, and last name anyway. Well, she got wind of how the Mexicans were going to massacre and execute all the prisoners, all the Texans that were caught. So she snuck out, I don't know how many. The San Antonio River around here is not too far, and she snuck them out and they escaped. Now they still massacred, I don't know how many of them, and but she was credited for saving, I don't know how many Texans that were going to be executed. And here's something I suspect, William, that you probably have never heard me say. My family comes from Goliad, or in this area, and my suspicions are that she is related to me. I'm looking around here, and there's a lot of plaques that were from the Alvarez family, but we never were in contact with this side of the family. But I know in this area there's a lot of Alvarez's, and they've put their bricks in here. So I'm not really sure if that's true. I've never spent the time to see if there was any truth to that. But they have the same last name as I do. My family comes from this area. So that was always been a suspicion of mine. I guess I should do some research and find out if they actually are related to me. And by the way, my sister is named Francis, which in Spanish is the same name, Francisca. And I think we ought to get moving, William, or we're going to get soaked with rain. It's coming down rain over here. But over there, it's a Presidio. That was one of the first school trips I took when I was like in first grade, maybe.
People will never even know. Or
So I believe in this spot after they killed everybody. How many did you read on the sign, William?
I want to say over 240 people.
Yeah. So the names are inscribed on this wall here. This is a memorial to them, and I believe they might have been burned right here. Does it say that? Texas soldiers of Colonel Fanning, Columbia, killed and mortally wounded in the battle, March 19, 1836, and buried in Texas trenches on the battlefield.
342 men.
342 men. So I thought that this is where they burned the bodies, or maybe this is just the memorial for the dead. This was built in 1938. 1938. Over there is the Persidio, which was a Spanish mission. And it started raining on us. And so we're going to do a quick tour of the place. Just go inside real quick. And so that William will get a chance to see it, since we made it all the way down here. But then we're going to start heading back north. And hopefully we get out of this rain. Wait, here's some more inscriptions. Let me see what this says. Erected by the state of Texas in honor of the Texas soldiers killed in the Battle of Goliad, March 19th, 1836, under Colonel James Walker Fanning, who were buried on the battlefield, and of Colonel Fanning and his men executed March 27th, 1836, by order of General Santa Anna, and their bodies were burned. Oh, yes, burned beneath this monument. And said that the remains are in Goliad. From my understanding, growing up in Texas here, and what I remember in school or wherever I heard, I don't remember, but Colonel Fanning was the last person to be executed. And one of his wishes was that not to be shot in the face. And so that when they buried him, his family could recognize him. And by the order, I don't remember if it was the captain or one of the Mexican officials, shot him in the face. So they didn't even honor his last request. Okay, go ahead and tell us your story, sir. I got a YouTube channel.
Okay. My name is John Chambers, and I've always been interested in Texas history. And I'm here in Goliad, standing in front of the burial ground where over 300 men are buried on this spot. Yeah. And it's when you study Texas history, Fanning should have obeyed Sam Houston's orders and got on down to the Alamo.
Yeah.
But what he did, he had a beef against Sam Houston.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And he stayed here. He was a little hard-headed and arrogant. So all that time he was playing around here in this area, the Mexican army, Santa Anna's generals, was catching up to him.
Okay.
I was saying that's when they started killing them off. They promised they'd stay here a week, and but then they killed the men off in two sections before they killed the last section here.
Yeah.
But from this spot, I think there was 23 men that made it to the river.
Yeah.
And got away. Okay. But that's I got a lot more to say, but that's
yeah.
I know Texas history is serious.
Yeah.
And let me say one thing. The reason why Sam Houston didn't kill Santa Anna over San Jacinto, they recognized each other. Both men were Masons.
Yeah.
And that's why Sam Houston didn't kill him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I knew that Santa Anna was a Mason.
Yeah.
So I was just telling William here, so my last name is Alvarez.
Okay.
And my family is from this area.
Okay.
And the angel of Goliad is actually Francisca Alvarez. So I always suspected that my family was related to the angel of Goliad, and my sister's name is Francisca.
Wow. That's deep.
So I don't know if there's any connection there or not, but I know my dad's family is from this area, Goliad, Norham,
Right.
all those areas there.
And then another interesting fact about this history. You know, back in those days, the United States was really on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
And when you cross the Mississippi River, that whole side of the country is considered Mexican territory.
Yeah, yeah,
All the way up to the state of Washington, Oregon, Montana.
yeah,
And I'm a veteran truck driver.
yeah.
And I promise you, if you ever go up to the state of Washington and Oregon, pay attention to the street names.
Oh, is that right?
It'll say Hernandez,
Yeah.
Gonzalez,
Well,
Alvarez.
Los Angeles, San Diego,
yeah.
San Francisco,
You
yeah.
see all these Spanish names.
Yeah.
And that'll tell you the truth, you know.
Yeah.
But listen, I wish I could talk to you more, but I got to take a few pictures and get going.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice meeting you, sir.
God
Thank
bless
you.
both of man.
So this is the courtyard, and the surrounding walls were fortificated, but the men were caught outside the gate, I believe in Fanning, Texas, which is just down the road. I'm not sure where Colonel Fanning was killed. I don't know. There's a grave over here. Let's see if it... Man, the weather really turned on us. We're going to have to try to get out of the rain. Annie Taylor, born 1852. Not really sure what the significance of that grave is. But William, I remember as a child standing up here. I was in first grade. So I was probably like 1969. I was standing out here, and this little area always intrigued me. And I remember standing here and yelling, "Fire!" And as a first grader. And here I am almost 55 years later, or what, I guess, no, it's less than 55 years. But because I'm 60 now. And here I am still finding history very fantastic. So this is the church. And I believe it's open. Let's go check it inside. It's been a few years since I've been here. It's locked. Oh, maybe there's a side entrance. I would imagine the men would be held in this courtyard, awaiting their execution. I thought, well, I don't really know for sure where Colonel Fanning or where the other, I just know back at that monument back there is where they burned the bodies after they killed them. And the whole Angel of Goliad story happened before she got, I thought I saw 72 men were saved by the Angel of Goliad. So I think we need to start heading north. Okay, William discovered the secret to the door. You push it, not pull it. Oh, saw him. Okay, so we have to be quiet in here, even though there's nobody in here. But very typical Spanish building, church that I've been to several of them in New Mexico and throughout the Southwest. New Mexico, Arizona, I've been to several missions, and they all have these very thick adobe walls. Some of the artifacts. Now, I believe this is a working church, and I'm not sure what, is this the actual bell? Spanish colonial bell dated 1748, used at Presidio, La Bahia, Goliad. Wow. I wonder if that's one of the older doors that... Presidio de la Bahia is what I know it as. And there's actual... Oh, sorry.
Persidio in Bahia.
Yeah. There's another church just down the road of here, right on the banks of the San Antonio River. So the San Antonio River runs nearby here. Up there's where the choir. I've been to the one in Santa Fe, New Mexico, that has the miracle spire case, but it's this similar design. But this architect was smart enough to make it built into the church. It wasn't an afterthought like the other one. But the architect died before the church was built. Very beautiful, very peaceful in here. So we are now in Gonzalez, Texas. So I thought this was a tribute to the Texas Independent War, but this is actually a monument here that I'm going to show you in a little bit for the Texas participation in the Confederate War. Evidently, there was a large group of men from Gonzales County, as 4,500 men, and they fought. The only ones to fight under Robert E. Lee. And this is the Confederate States of America official flag. I've never seen this flag before. It's not the rebel flag. Or maybe that's not allowed anymore. I'm not really sure. But Gonzales to me is more known for the first battle of the Texas independence from Mexico. And as you see in the background is a flag of the United States. I think they also fly the Come and Take It flag. So here in Gonzales is known for the Come and Take It battle, which basically the Texans had a cannon that the Mexicans gave them to protect themselves against the Indians. And then when there was a rebellion going on, the army had come to take the cannon away from the population so they couldn't use it against them. But that's when they made the flag, the Come and Take It flag, and a battle. Well, it wasn't really a battle. I think they shot at the Mexicans, or maybe they shot the cannon at the Mexicans, and the Mexicans didn't fight against them because it probably was a small detachment or something like that, and they couldn't really defend themselves. So here we are in the town square. That's what I like about these older Texas towns, is town square in a lot of these in the towns, and in the middle, right behind it over there, I don't know if you can tell, back behind it, that over there is the actual county seat, I believe. And but this here was erected for the Confederacy, and Texas contribute what they contribute here. And you can see that the rebel flag is there on the monument. Erected by the Gonzales Chapter United Daughters of the Confederacy, June 3rd, 1909. So it's been here a while. So me and William been riding today on our trusty steed. It's mostly been raining. I didn't film anything while we were riding because it was a pretty countryside, but the weather just didn't participate today. You can tell that the bikes are all dirty from riding through the rain. My bike was clean. I actually washed it right before I took off, and it was to no avail because we just got rained on for most of the trip. But we had a good time anyway. So I think I'm going to end it right here. I think I'm gonna end it right here in square of Gonzalez, Texas. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.